Hey everybody, I'm Dave with Family RV. Welcome to your instructional video on your RV rental. Today we're going to be doing a basic instruction on how to hook up your Georgetown 36B5. So let's get started. All right everybody, so one of the first steps that we're going to teach you how to do is how to hook up your electrical cord on your Georgetown A-Class. That plug is going to be located on the driver's side in the rear, right in this compartment right here. Now this is going to be your electrical hookup, which we have right over here. This coach is a 50 amp coach. We do have a adapter that goes from 50 to 30. This adapter will be with you in case your campsite is 30 amp. You'll still be able to plug it in. Now before you plug in this cord, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you take this cap off and you put the cord through here so it runs under the coach. Now what that purpose is for is that's why so you're able to shut this compartment door and it won't be swinging and hitting the coach if it's windy. So we always want to make sure that this door is able to shut and that the power cord is running through right there. Once you got that settled, you're going to grab your electrical cord and you're going to find your plug at your campground. You're going to plug this guy in and then you're going to make sure that the breakers are on. Next, we're going to show you how to hook up your water supply. If you have full hookups, that means you have water at your campsite. We're going to show you how to hook up your water hose, and then we're going to show you how to do your sewer hose. So let's go do that. So your water supply is going to be located on the driver's side right by the tire. It's going to be labeled wastewater holding tank and sewer outlet connection. We're going to go ahead and open this up, and what we're going to do is we're going to just show you how to hook up your water supply. Now you're going to notice down here, let's get a good look over here. We have 3 water hookups. One is for your city water fill. That is when you're at your campsite. You're going to simply hook up your water hose to that. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Just going to twist it on nice and tight all the way. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then the other end is going to look like this. Now this is a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator needs to be on the hose. Too much pressure coming from the water spigot can damage the pipes inside the coach. So always make sure this is on there. Put this on the water faucet nice and tight. Go ahead and turn on the water faucet. Make sure that none of the plugs are in the sink inside the coach and none of the water is turned on while you hook this up. Always go inside and double check to make sure everything is off so nothing overflows and damages the floors. Next, you have your fresh water fill, okay? So the fresh water fill is your onboard reservoir tank. Now what that tank does is if you're not at a campsite and you're dry camping, this is going to be your water supply, okay? And how to fill this fresh water tank up is you just take this off, you simply hook up your hose right here, and then you turn on the water faucet, and then it starts filling up your fresh water tank just like that. Okay, make sure that's on nice and tight. Now this is the fresh water fill. This is mostly for dry camping or if you're on the road. This is when you're at a campsite or if you're at a house and you already have water supply, okay? Now if you're going to be using your fresh water tank, remember you have to turn the water pump on. And we're going to go over the water pump systems just in a bit inside, okay? Now the third one right here is going to be your black tank flush. And what that is this is going to help flush out your black tank. What the black tank is going to be for the toilet waste, okay? So this is what it's going to kind of look like right here. I'm going to cap this on right here, and I'm going to show you how to hook up your sewer line. Now this guy will bend a little bit, so we want that pointed down. Why do we want that pointed down? It's because we're going to grab the sewer hose, and we're going to take this cap off. Make sure you always have gloves on. This is a brand new coach. This is the only reason why I'm touching it without any gloves. Going to simply grab this sewer hose and it's got some lock right there. You're going to twist it with both hands like that and that's going to lock it into place. Now the other end of the sewer hose is going to look like this. And at your campground or at the dump station, you're going to go ahead and just put this in the hole and make sure it's nice and tight. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to pull your black valve first. Pull the black valve first. All the waste is going to come out. Once all the waste comes out, you can go ahead and pull your gray valve, which is your gray valve is your wastewater from the shower and the sinks, okay? Now after you're done doing that, you can hook up your water hose. This is a one-way inlet. You can hook up a water hose to your black tank flush like that. Make sure that guy's on nice and tight. and you're going to leave this black valve open, and then you're going to turn the water on, and what that's going to do is the water's going to shoot inside the black tank, and it's going to start rinsing all that stuff that's at the bottom out. Okay, now if you want, you can actually close your black valve for a little bit. Make sure you pay attention, because now you're filling up the black tank, and then you could pull it. So pressure is going to help flush everything out. So you can do that. Just be very careful not to over flood or overfill it, because it will come out of the toilet. After you're done flushing, you're going to go ahead and close these up, disconnect, put the cap back on nice and tight, okay? And you're good to go. All right, so this Georgetown coach has 2 bathrooms, which means it has 2 black tanks, and it also has 2 gray tanks because it has 2 showers. Now, this is the first set of black and gray valves right here to dump. Your second set of black and gray valves is going to be at the driver's side, at the rear compartment, which is going to be right here. Now, if you take a look in here, you'll notice there is a black and there is a gray. And there also is a tank flush to flush out the black tanks. All right, before we go inside, we've already hooked up our electrical to our campsite. We've hooked up our water hose at our campsite, and we have hooked up our sewer hose on our campsite. The next step we're going to do is we're going to put down the electronic leveling system. Okay, so we're going to go inside and we're going to put those down. Okay, our next step is going to put down the automatic leveling system. To do that, we're going to take the ignition key. We're going to start the vehicle. And then we're going to gently push down on the left side. We're going to gently push down the parking brake until the brake light comes on the dash. Once that is on, we're going to come on over here, and we're going to take a look to the left over here on the driver's side. It's going to say LCI electronic leveling. Now, there's only 3 buttons we're ever going to touch on here because everything is already set up. The first button we're going to do is we're going to turn on. It's going to have an orange light. Okay, now if you see this light blinking, that is normal. The next button we're going to push is auto, and that's going to automatically push the levelers down. Now we're going to go outside and we're going to get to look and see what those levelers look like on the outside. Now you're going to notice that there are 2 levelers in the rear, and then there's going to be 2 levelers in the front. It's best that everybody is out of the coach and nobody's walking around there, because these things are kind of sensitive and it can throw the levelers off a little bit. Once it's done leveling out, it will stop by itself. It will no longer be rocking. Then that's when we will proceed to put the slide outs. All right, now that the electronic levelers are down, we're going to proceed to push the slide outs out. There's 3 slide outs on this specific coach, and so we're going to do that. Now the vehicle could either be on or the vehicle could be turned off. It doesn't matter, the slides will go out either way. One of the first steps before we push the slide out is we're going to come on over here and we're going to take a look at this seat right here. Now we want to make sure that this seat is very far away from this slide so it does not damage this seat at all, okay? So make sure there's a gap right here, and then you can proceed to put the slide out. Let's go over here to the control panel, and we're going to go over this stuff right here. Touch to unlock. We're going to go ahead and touch that. You're going to see a lot of different options right here. We're going to go through them all, okay? But the first thing we want to do is we're going to want to go over the slides. So you're going to notice there's 2 RVs right here that this is the slide and this is the awning. We'll go through that one later. We're going to go ahead and push that button, and it's going to say slide out, sofa dinette, bed, wardrobe, and bunk. So right now we're going to select sofa dinette, and there's going to be an arrow pointing this way, which means in, and an arrow pointing that way, which means out. And these are real sensitive, so what you're going to do is you're going to want to put your finger on there and hold it and take a look at that slide, and you're going to hold it until the slide completely stops by itself. Nobody should be sitting on the slides while they are being pushed in or out. Everybody should be off of it until it's done. All right, now that our first slide is out, we're going to come back to the control panel, and we're going to simply select the next slide. It doesn't matter which order you go in. You can go start from right here, or you can do whichever one you want first. The next one we're going to do is the bed, and we're going to push that, and it's going to highlight blue, which means we're going to select that slide out, and then we're going to hold the arrow out again. and we're going to wait for the bed slide to fully stop. Once again, nobody should be on the slide while it is going out or in. Now that we push the bed slide out, we're going to continue with the wardrobe and the bunk area. We're going to select that. It's going to highlight blue, and then we're going to push it out again. When you're pulling these slides back in, make sure there's no obstacles or anything in its way that's going to give it more weight, or it's going to be harder for it to push in. Always remember to read all caution signs in the RV, as they are very important and pertain to safety. So we're going to go through all of these icons one by one. So this light right here, this first one, is actually just for the awning light. You can tap that on, or you can put it on or off. Okay, so you just tap that right there. To go back to the other options, you're going to hit the home button up here on the upper left hand corner. Next, we're going to go to this guy. This guy right here is your tank level. This is going to tell you how full or how empty your tanks are. This is your fresh water tank. That's your onboard reservoir. Right now, it is telling us that the tank is empty. When it is full, it'll go to the green right there, and it will say F or full. The next tank level is going to be the gray. Now remember, there are two grays and there's two blacks. Gray and black. Now you're going to notice at the top there's a number that says 1 out of 2. That means this is the tank level for the first gray tank. First 1 out of 2. To see the second level of the gray tank, you're going to simply tap that, and it's going to switch over to the second tank, and that's going to tell you the level of the second tank. And you just swap back and forth to see the different levels. Same with the black. This is the first tank out of the 2. You're going to tap that one, and it's going to tell you the second level of the second tank. That's all you got to do. This battery right here is the coach battery. It tells you how much voltage is on your house batteries. Right now it's at 13.2. Anything below a 12, you're going to want to turn the generator on and start charging it if you're dry camping. We don't want that thing to go any lower than 12. It should be right there all the time. This is your LP gas. That is your liquid propane. Right now it's telling us that our liquid propane is full. There's that F right there. Same thing with these guys right here. If it's full, you'll have that little F right there, and it'll tell you what the levels are, okay? So we're going to go back over here. That's the level monitor. It tells us about our tanks. We're going to go back right there. This is the slide out. We already went through that when we pushed the slides out. You guys already know how to operate that. Next, we're going to go back to the home, and this is going to press that one, and that's going to be for your awning. We're going to go ahead and push this awning halfway. You do not have to push the awning all the way if you don't want to, but remember, we don't want the awning out if it's in very windy conditions. These things are like sails on a sailboat. It will take off, and it can damage the awning, and for safety reasons, we don't want anything happening to you guys. So just use your good judgment. If it's too windy, don't use it at all, or don't leave it out overnight. You can stop right there, and then you just simply hit the button back over here to pull it back in. Always make sure this is fully closed before you start driving. All right, so that was the awning button. Next, we're going to go over to the generator button. That's going to be on the lower left corner right here. What you're going to do is you're going to want to turn the generator on if you need to. Remember, you don't need the generator on if you're plugged in. It's either the generator for power or the plug-in. And the generator, you need the generator on to power the air conditioners, the microwaves, the outlets, and the TVs. Okay, so to start your generator, you go over here to this, and you're going to see a lot of options. Okay, what we're going to stay away from on these options is we're going to stay away from the automatic generator start. Do not enable those at all. If you're in a campground, your generator will start in the middle of the night if it drops power, and some campgrounds only allow you to use your generator at certain hours. Usually some cutoff times are as late as 10 o'clock. So what we're going to do, if you need to use your generator, we're going to want to do it manually. And to do that, you're just going to press the manual operation button right there, and that's going to take you to start and stop your generator. All you're going to do is you're going to hold down the start button right there, and you're going to hear the generator starting. You hold it. Once the generator starts, you're going to wait for the load to go on. And the way you can know that the load is on is the microwave is going to beep, and once the microwave beeps, that means you can use the microwave, the air conditioner, the TVs can be turned on, and all the outlets will function. So I just want to stay on here real quick. I want you to see how long it takes for that microwave to beep. It's going to be a few minutes. All right, so there you go. That's how long it takes for the microwave to beep. So if you don't hear it go on, just wait a little bit longer and it will go on. Now let's come back over here to the control panel. We're going to show you how to turn your generator off. You're simply just going to go ahead and hit stop, and the generator is going to shut off. Let's go back to the home button and see what other options we have right here. All right, so that was the generator. Next, we're going to go to this guy right here. And what that is going to be for, you're going to notice it's going to say front water pump, rear water pump, front water heater, rear water heater. Tank heaters we don't really use. We're going to be in California. That's for freezing cold weather. That's so your black and gray tanks don't freeze over. It's going to be summer, so we're not going to really need that. But if you did, for some reason, you would just turn this on and enable it right there, and the tank heaters would go on. But like I said, if you're in hot weather, you don't need them on. So this is the front water pump. So the front water system, which is going to be for the kitchen and for the first bathroom. So that water pump, to turn it on, all you're going to do is hit that button right there until it turns green. That means the water pump's on, and you can use the water from the onboard reservoir. Now you only need these water pumps on if you are dry camping. If you are hooked up to city water at a campground, you do not need the water pumps on. So just make sure that they're turned off. To turn them off, you just hit that button right there until it says off, and it's good to go. Same with the rear water pump, front water heater. Front water heater. If you're dry camping and you need hot water, which you're going to want to make sure that you turn one of the pumps on. Whichever side, whichever you're heating up, the front or the rear. So you turn, if you want to heat up the front water, you're going to turn the water pump on, and then you're going to turn on the front water heater, and you're just going to simply do that, and it's going to kick on, and it's going to say water heater fault. The reason why it's saying water heater fault is because it's trying to ignite. Once the water heater ignites, the water heater fault will go off. Same with the rear water heater. If you want to heat up, there it goes, it went off. See, that means the water heater has ignited. Same with the rear water heater. If you want to heat water in the back shower, you're going to turn on the rear water pump, and then you're going to turn on the rear water heater, and it's going to say it's pretty much the same thing. Now, it's always good practice to make sure once you start traveling and you're leaving your campground, make sure everything is turned off. Make sure the water pump is off, the water heater's turned off, everything that you're not using, just make sure it's turned off. If you need to use the restroom and pull over and you need the water pump, just go back into the settings and turn one of the water pumps on and use the restroom and then turn it back off. Okay, we're going to turn this guy back off, and we'll turn this off. We'll turn that off. Double check everything. See, that's why we double check it. And then we'll turn that off too. Next, we're going to go on to the next setting over here. And always, when you're doing the water, when you're heating up water, always try to give it about 15, 20, 30 minutes, roughly around that area right there for the hot water to get hot. It's only a 6-gallon hot water tank, so it's not a lot of water, so it shouldn't really take that long, but 30 minutes tops and the hot water should be good to go. The next icon on the screen we're going to use is going to be for the furnace, and it's going to be for the heater. Now, when it says plug coach in or start generator, that is only for the air conditioner. You do not need the furnace. You do not need the coach. The coach does not need to be plugged in, or the generator does not need to be running to use the furnace. So to use the furnace, there are two different systems for the furnace and for the AC. Living room heat, you're going to scroll right here where it says heat and cool. You're just going to scroll through it. Right now it's off. Scroll through it until you find whichever one. Not the heat pump. Just ignore that. We don't need the heat pump. the furnace. So we're going to go ahead, that's what we want on. The furnace is going to kick on. If it doesn't, just turn it up all the way with this arrow right here until it does. Let it kick on. There it goes. The furnace just kicked on. Now we're going to adjust it to whatever temperature that we want it on to get us nice and comfortable. We'll set it at a good 72 or whatnot. Bedroom 2, you can go right here, put it on the furnace. Same thing. Go ahead and adjust it till it kicks on. Once it kicks on, you can adjust it to whatever temperature you want. Now make sure that when you're not using these, you just turn them right back off. Scroll through until it says off. We're going to go to bedroom, and then we're going to scroll through until it says off. Now once you turn the furnace off, you're going to notice the fans stayed on. They're going to kick off after a couple minutes, so just give it a couple minutes and they'll kick off. Now we're going to go back over here, and we're going to actually show you how to turn AC on. So we're going to go back to the generator. I'm going to go back to manual operation. I'm going to start the generator because we're going to kick on the ACs. There are 2 ACs in this coach. There's one AC in the living area, and there's one AC in the back bedroom. Okay, the generator needs to be turned on, or you need to be plugged in for any air conditioner to work. If you are in extreme hot weather, such down in Death Valley, and it's over 100 and something degrees, and you have your ACs on, it's gonna feel like it's not getting cold. It actually is. Remember, these air conditioners are located on the roof of the coach, and the hot heat is beaming down on them while they're struggling to get cold. Make sure that you shut all the blinds and try to eliminate opening and closing this front door so the heat does not come in. Once you do that, it should stay nice and cool in here, okay? There we go. We have the generator just kicked on. That's the microwave was the signal. So we're going to scroll back over here to the air conditioner, and we are going to go right here. And then we're going to go to this thermometer right here because that's our temperature. And we're going to scroll through until we see cool. And then we're going to go to cooler, and we're just going to adjust it down. And we'll go to the living room, cool. And we'll adjust it down to, there we go. Oh, I like it cold, so we're going to go all the way down. Bedroom, we're going to go all the way down. You're going to notice that the generator did make a couple noises right now. That's the load of the ACs going on the generator. So you'll see that too, okay? So the ACs are running. Sometimes it's a good idea to maybe run one air conditioner if it's really, really hot, because then the generator is also getting hot outside while it's running, and then the heat adds to that, and it could fault out sometimes, but that's all worst case scenarios. All right, let's go ahead and turn these off. We just scroll down. Now we're going to go back to the living room. We're going to scroll that off, and then we're going to go back to generator, and we're just going to go ahead and shut that off because we're done using the ACs. And we're going to press stop, and there you go. We're going to go back over here. We're going to see if there's one more option. There is one more option right here. All that is to lock the screen, and that's all it does. Okay. So these chairs do swivel around, and to swivel them around, we're located on the passenger seat right now, and we're sitting down on it. So on your right side, you're going to see there is a little lever right here, and that little lever right here is to be able to adjust the seat forward and backward. You're just going to simply go like this, and you'll be able to go forward or backward. And to swivel the seat, you're going to have a little bar right below that, and you're going to push that one back, and it's going to be able to swivel the seat. Now you can see if the seat is touching the wall, you're going to need to adjust the back and push it up like this so nothing damages the seat and so it doesn't scrape, and then you have the seat swiveled. The same thing is going to be for this driver's seat right here. You'll have to adjust it to this one. The driver's seat's not going to swivel as much as this one. It's just going to swivel as far as the steering wheel can go, and that would be it. All right, now that we've talked about that, let's talk about the overcab bunk right here real quick. All you're going to do is you're going to simply unlock the safety harness that is plugged in right here. It's like a seat belt. You're simply just going to unlock it like there. To push that bed down, you're simply going to turn the key on, and you're going to hit that arrow, and then the top bed will drop down. The ladder for that overcab bed over there is going to be located right here on the bottom bunk. The bottom bunk actually doesn't have a ladder. All right, next we're going to show you how this couch turns into a bed. It's actually just like an old school style pull-out couch bed. You're going to simply just remove these cushions, and we'll set them down right there real quick. Next, all you're going to do is just grab this handle right here. You're going to pull it out like so, and then just fold the bed right out. And there you have your couch bed. Push it back in. You're just going to fold this back up. Fold this guy back up. Drop that down. Put it right back in there. Now there are seat belts located underneath this seat right here. Those will be all pulled out for you when you depart. There are a couple people that can sit right there. Put that back down and you're good to go. There is some storage space right here where the remotes will be located. The remote controls are going to be for the TVs and for the sound bar. There's about 4 remote controls in here for your TVs. There's a sound bar right here. You have to be plugged in for the TVs to work, or the generator needs to be turned on. You're going to notice these blinds real quick. They have 2 shades. One is a screen, one is a full shade like that. All those guys right there are the same. Just gently pull them down. Don't be too rough on them because they can get stuck. These guys, you're just going to open these, twist these knobs, open and close like that. Same with these windows right here. Anywhere you always look under here, you'll see some switches. These black switches are just light switches. Okay, there's some switches probably under here. Light switch. This is the sink right here. Pretty easy. Everybody knows how to use the sink. Don't use this countertop as a cutting board. Please use a regular cutting board as it can damage this. The stove over here, this is a glass top stove. Make sure that this glass is always lifted before you ignite the burners. It can shatter the glass, okay? Always make sure the burners are cooled down before you put this glass top down. To start the oven, all you're going to do is turn this to high. You're actually just going to put it on high, follow the igniter, there you go. Turn them all off. This is just a little light. The same thing with the oven. You're going to go ahead and just push this in, put it on flame. You're going to let the little bit of gas build up, and then you'll start using the igniter to turn on the stove. Once the pilot light's down there, and then you can turn it to whatever temperature you want it at, and then you can bake whatever you need to in there, okay? Let's come over here to the Dream Dinette. The Dream Dinette, this turns into a bed. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove these and store them somewhere in the coach because these will come off like so. You're going to notice that there are little holes right here and there are hooks right here. So when you're putting these guys back on, be careful and just hook them back on like that the proper way. Now we're going to take this off real quick. We're going to set it on the floor. We'll take the other one off real quick. Kind of wiggle that out. All right. To turn this into a bed, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lift this cushion up. Be very careful. It's got Velcro. All right. I'm going to take this one up too. Nice and gently. Now we're going to take a look under here. There's going to be a bar. That bar, you're just going to twist that bar to unlock the table, and you're going to push this table down with both hands right in the middle, and it's going to go right down right there. Now after you're done with that, you can go ahead and drop this guy down, this cushion, and then drop this cushion down. Now the middle cushion for the Dream Dinette should be stored in a proper place such as the bunk, and you just come right over here. All right, you're going to simply put the middle cushion in to make the Dream Dinette like that. Once you are done, you can remove this, store it over here on the bunk or wherever you would like, somewhere visible. Lift these guys up once again. Lift this up once again. We're going to pull this guy up nice and easy. We're going to lock this back into place like so. And then we can put the backs back on nice and easy, just like that. I'm going to set this down right here. go. All right, let's move on to the refrigerator right over here. Your refrigerator will be cold when you pick up your RV. These are also the freezer. We are going to be setting your refrigerator mode to AU, which is auto. The fridge is going to automatically know if it's plugged in or if it's unplugged. If it's plugged in, it'll go to auto AC. If it's not plugged in, you'll see an AU LP. That means it's running on liquid propane. You don't really need to touch it at all. If you turn it off, your fridge will start going warm, so we'll just leave it on. You could adjust the temperature right here if you want. We usually set it on the coldest or somewhere in between. All right, let's move on over here to the back area. There is a light switch in the hallway. Right above that light, you're going to see a solar. You just ignore that. That's for the solar on top. It's going to do its own thing. Nobody really needs to adjust anything on that. Over here, you have your 2 bunk beds with some USB ports and a light switch right there. Some storage space right underneath the bunks right there. We're going to walk into the first bathroom right here. Here is the first bathroom with 2 switches right here, one for a fan. If the fan does not go on with the switch, there's another switch up here. Make sure that's on, the 2-way switch. When you are transporting and traveling, you must make sure that this shower door is locked properly. If you fail to not have it locked properly while you're moving, these glass doors are going to move and they can and will shatter. So just do a double check before you leave. Make sure that everybody knows that these shower doors need to be locked properly, okay? To flush the toilet, you're just going to go ahead and lift this guy up. You're either going to be connected to city water or you're going to have your water pump on. You're simply going to put your foot right here and all the water is going to come out just like it did and it's going to go down. So just make sure you flush that. Use the proper RV marine paper for these toilets. Now here's your pocket door for your privacy. You can go ahead and just push this guy down, follow the instruction on the arrow, and you can just slide it right across. Same thing with this door right here. When you are transporting, make sure that this door clicks in. See that click right there? Make sure so it's not moving back and forth while you're transporting. Come on over here just to the bedroom. Same with the TVs. These TVs are just like your normal everyday household TV. Put the power on, scroll through the channels. Try to get some over the air. If you have Park Cable, you can hook up to Park Cable and search the channels on Park Cable. Over here in this closet, you're going to have a little small table. This is the arm for the table that goes in between the driver and passenger seat. It's not really a big table, but if you do want to sit down and relax and put some food or something right there, you can, or a laptop, you can do so also. All right, I'm going to make sure we're good to go. Never have any luggage on this floor right here or by the bunk beds or anywhere near the slides, because when you close in the slides, it can damage the luggage or the coach also. Come back on over here. Here is the second bathroom with the second shower. Once again, this is always going. We're always going to make sure that this shower door is properly locked so these doors are not moving. Same with this door right here. Follow the arrows. Just push down right there, nice and easy, so you can get some privacy in the bathroom. These 2 cabinets will be taped shut and need to remain taped shut. There is a washer-dryer combo in this compartment. It is going to be non-op for any renters renting this coach. Everything is disconnected, so please just refrain from even getting in here at all. We do not allow any renters to use the washer or dryer, okay? All right, next to the entry door, you're going to notice that there is a battery controlled connect to. This guy needs to remain on at all times. If it is shut off, you will get 0 power to the coach. It cuts off the batteries. Right above here, this is just the entry step right here. Every time you open and close the screen door, the steps automatically go up and down. To avoid that when you're stationary, you're going to simply turn the steps off and they're going to stay open until you're ready to leave, okay? Right above here, you're going to have some electrical outlets. You're going to notice this is a GFI power protected outlet. This outlet is resettable. There might be one inside the bathroom too, so always double check that. Remember, this coach always has double of everything on this guy. Let's come on outside. We're going to go through some compartment doors, and we're going to show you what it looks like with the slides out real quick. And we're just going to point out some stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and close up the coach, and then we'll be good to go, okay? All right, outside real quick, we're going to have this TV right here. All the remote controls are outside. You can just, it's like a regular TV, surf the channels. Remember, you have to be plugged in or the generator has to be on. Right here, you have an outdoor radio. You can go ahead and turn that on. You're going to push Bluetooth, and then you can search your phone. I think that right there, JMS32, is what you're going to be looking for on your phone to connect to your Bluetooth. Always make sure it's turned off when you're not in use. Right here, we're just going to scroll through this real quick right here. Nobody should be in this compartment right here. This is the batteries in the hydraulic system. Please try to keep this compartment locked at all times, as people can steal batteries or any other things that could happen to these. We don't want any kids getting in here for safety reasons. Right over here, we're going to have a storage compartment right here with some 12-volt outlets right there you can use if you're plugged in. Don't worry about this. This is the refrigerator for us to access. This is the furnace exhaust. Make sure no kids touch this. It gets very hot if you have the furnace on. Please make sure that you read all the caution labels right here on all those coaches. Down over here, we have some more storage space right here. This is your water heater for us to access. You don't have to access that. You're going to notice right here, this is another service door for us to access. That is not storage. Come back over here. This is also some service access for us, so you cannot store anything in there. This is if you want to connect a propane, a barbecue propane, you can connect your barbecue pit to here. Just once you connect, you can just turn that on. We do not provide any quick connect LP hoses. Here's some more storage right here. And then this is just another service access door for us. And then the water heater for us. And then the furnace exhaust right here for us. This is how much your slide goes out. Anytime you're at a campground, make sure you're always away from any trees, tree branches, or anything like that. Because you can notice there is a slide topper up there. The fabric can rip and tear if it does hit a tree branch. Always make sure that you get out of your vehicle, do a walk around, have somebody spot you at all times. This is a very big coach, and it can get pretty hectic on parking this thing or pulling out the slides somewhere. Come on over here. We're going to go this side over here on the driver's side. We've already gone through this right here. This is your back water, black and gray tanks with the sandy flush. This is your electrical. You're going to, once you unplug, you're going to pull it back through that hole right there and store this guy, cap this guy back on. There's nothing else in here that you need to touch. Here's your gasoline. This is gasoline only. 87 is fine. Your key will be on your keychain for this gas right here. Come on over here. Now you're going to notice this slide went out a little bit more than the other one on the other side. This goes out a little bit more. Also, this slide back here goes out just a little bit less than this guy right here. So like I said, make sure that you're just clear of anything, any trees or anything like that when you're setting up or pushing out your slides. We've already gone through all this stuff right here. You have a shower head. You have an access light right here if you need to get in here at night. You got your black and gray tanks. You got your city water fill, your freshwater tank, and your black tank right here. Nobody should touch this filter right there. We're going to leave it on at all times. That's for us to change out. Over here underneath, always watch your head. Make sure if you have anything stored in these compartments over here that you have everything out before the slides go out. This is the generator, the inverter right here for us to access for service, so nobody needs to really be in there. Come on over here. We have some more storage space right here, which goes all the way through right there. Plenty of storage. Then we have a little bit more right here. You can put some luggage or whatnot. And then right here is going to be your propane tank, okay? So you can't fill up your propane tank by yourself. If you need propane, contact your campground, ask them if they have a propane. They will fill it up for you. Now, in case of an emergency and there's a fire or anything around your area at a campsite, you need to turn off this propane. You're going to come over here. You're going to turn this guy clockwise all the way. That will ensure that the propane is off. To open it up, you just go counterclockwise, and that is open, okay? And you're going to notice the propane is the only one without a lock. That's in case of an emergency, you have to open this, or if you're not at your coach and somebody has to turn this off. Now let's go inside the coach over here, and we're going to break it down. How we're going to do it, when we set up this coach, we put the jacks down, and then the slides. Now we're going to push the slides in first, and then we're going to put the jacks up, and then we're going to come outside and make sure the jacks actually went up So let's go inside. All right, we're back over here at our control panel screen. We're going to pull in the slides, and then we're going to put the jacks up. But remember, we want to make sure that this driver's seat is clear from the slide when we pull it in. We don't want any damage happening there. Make sure nobody is sitting on the slides while we're pulling it in. And also remember to pull the slides in. The vehicle can be turned on or it can be turned off. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. We'll do the back bedroom first, and we'll do the bed first, and then we're just going to sensitive those buttons are, kind of make sure you touch them. We're also going to do a walk around to make sure the slides fully went in all the way, and I'll show you what those look like. All right, so the bed's all the way in. Next, we're going to do the wardrobe bunk, and we're going to pull that guy in. There it goes. Next, we're going to do the sofa dinettes. All right, and we're going to put the automatic levelers up. And to do that, we're going to start the vehicle. We're going to come back over here to the LCI electronic leveling system. Remember, there's only 3 buttons we're ever going to touch on here. It's going to be on and off. The next button that when we push the jacks down was auto. And the next button that we're going to touch is retract all jacks. All we're going to do is push that button, and the jacks are going to go up. Now let's go outside and make sure that those jacks went up, and we're going to make sure the slide's fully closed. All right, so that's what the leveling jacks should look like all the way up. That is the proper way they should be up. Let's go check the back ones. All right, it looks like those jacks are pretty good. Those are all the way up. All right, now we're going to make sure that these slide outs closed all the way, and this looks like it's closed all the way. You may see a little gap right here, but it's closed all the way. Let's go check the other ones on this side. All right, this slide out looks like it's closed all the way, and this slide out is closed all the way. We're going to make sure that we store our water hoses and our sewer hoses in the proper storage compartments. And we're going to make sure that our electrical is put away properly. We're going to pull this gently through. And if you're having a hard time getting this plugged through here, go ahead and just disconnect the adapter real quick and pull this guy through, and then hook the connector back up, and then shut the door. Make sure every single storage compartment is locked before you start transporting. Once we have the levelers up and we check the slide outs and you're ready to take off, you can go ahead and release the brake with this right there. Okay. To the left hand side is your mirror adjusters to adjust your left or right mirror. Your blind spotters at the bottom right there need to be adjusted by hand. And here are your headlights right here. Now your driver's seat has an automatic button to go up or down. It's going to be on the left hand side over here by the driver window, so take a look at that. Okay, here's another tip. You're only going to get 1 set of keys on your trip, so if you lock these keys inside the coach, you will have to call a locksmith. But to avoid having to do that, what I like to do is as soon as I park, I'll make sure that one of these windows is actually unlocked, because you can slide that open and close from the outside. All right, everybody, thank you for watching our instructional video on the Georgetown 36B5. I hope this was very educational for you guys. Always remember to look at our website at www.familyrv.com to look at all our selections, A classes, trailers, B class vans, whatever you would like. C classes also. Remember, we also do have a service department here, so check out our service department for all your RV needs, our rental department, and our auto body. Please keep an eye out. Go to fleetbodyworks.com to check out our bodywork. I hope you guys have a safe and fun trip. We'll see you when you get back.